You might have seen this kind of UI animation in your feed. It looks very nice and it's really very easy to create. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. We'll be splitting this video into 4 parts. First, I'll show you how to create a good looking gradient background, creating the shape morphing. I'll show you how to create text animation using multiple text animators and saving them as a preset. So let's get started. So let's create a gradient background. So I'm going to import an image, which is this, and simply drag and drop it inside the composition. You can just scale it down to fit the comp size. And what I'm going to do is create a new adjustment layer and go to the effects and presets and search for Gaussian blur, and you can increase the blur amount to maybe 450, and you can see you have a very good gradient background. You can select this layer, Ctrl Shift and C, and pre-compose it, rename it BG for background, hit OK. Alright, so that's how you have a very clean and good looking gradient background. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is creating the shape and morphing it into a different shape. Okay, so without selecting any layers, this is very important. Without selecting any layers, you can just click on this rectangle tool, hold down Shift, and draw a box anywhere in the composition that creates a perfect circle. Okay, so hold down Control, selecting on the shape layer, and double click on this pen behind tool. That way it will center the anchor point to the center of the shape, and you can just click on these layers, align vertically and horizontally. That positions the shape exactly at the center of the comp, like that. Okay, so you can just off this title action, save. Alright, and let's go inside this rectangle path, and I'm gonna increase this roundness to around 50. That will create a sort of a circle. So what I'm going to do is import the PNG image, and I'm going to drag and drop it on top of the shape. Hit S to bring up the scale, and I'm going to scale it down to 10, and it is there at the center. Alright, let's animate this shape. Let's collapse this shape layer, go to Contents, Rectangle Path, and what I'm going to do is uncheck this Constraint Proportions. Uncheck that because we're going to scale only to the, we're going to scale only to the x-axis. Okay, this is x and this is y. So let me just undo that. And what I'm going to do is hold down Shift and hit page down twice, 1, 2. I'm going to set a keyframe for the size. I'm going to go back to the first frame. I'm going to set this back to 0 and 0. Okay, so if I play it back now, you have this. Okay, it's very boring now. We're going to add some bounce expression to this later on, and I'm going to select this PNG image. I'm going to hit S, set a keyframe at this keyframe at this timestamp, go few frames, go to the first frame, and I'm going to set this back to 0, and at the same time I'm going to animate the rotation of this. So hold down Shift and hit R to bring up the rotation, and I'm going to set a rotation keyframe at the beginning of this timeline. Set a keyframe and go to this timeline, and I'm going to add 1, so it completes 1 rotation. Okay, so right now you have that. I'm just going to apply some expression to this using my tool. I'm just going to apply expression to the size, rotation, and scale of this using my Expression Kit Pro. If you're interested, you can check this out, or I will also include the expression in the description down below. Alright, so I'm just going to select this UI overshoot, selecting all the properties. I'm going to hit apply, and if I play it back now, you can see that you have a very smooth animation. And moving on, let's just go from here. I'll just hold down Shift and page down twice, and I'm going to set a keyframe here, and I'm going to go Shift page down twice again, and I'm going to scale this size, increase the size like this, and I'm also going to animate the position of this and rotation as well. So hold down Shift and P to bring up the position for this image, and what I'm going to do is right from here at this point. I'm going to set a position keyframe, and I'm going to this keyframe, and I'm going to shift the position to this left side, and I'm going to set the rotation to 2. Okay, so it rotates it like that. Okay, all right, that's really nice. So if I play it back now, you can see that it's very smooth. So one more thing I would like to do is I'm going to select the middle keyframe, which is the whole keyframe. Right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease, and I'm going to the graph editor, and I'm going to select this and tweak the graph so that you have a graph something like this. All right, so if you play it back now, it makes it more smooth. So if you apply easy ease on all these keyframes, the bounce expression will not work. So I just added easy ease keyframes to this middle keyframe. That makes it more smooth. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the text animation now. Let's grab a text and just type in ask anything. Okay, I'm gonna set the text color to black so that you can see what's going on here, and I'm gonna just move it here, and you can just add some dots here. 1, 2, 3. All right, so first of all, one thing to know is I'm going for a bounce expression here. So I will just add some rulers here. Control R to bring up the rulers. I'm going to set a ruler here at the top so that I can know the top and the bottom. Okay, so I just set a ruler like that, and Control R to hide the rulers back. And what I'm going to do is go here, collapse, and go to animate, and I'm going to animate the position. Okay, all right, so I'm going to set this position because I want this to come from the bottom. Maybe I'm going to start it maybe 100. Okay, so I'll just increase to 150. Okay, collapse this range selector, go to advanced, and I'm going to set this from square to ramp up, and I'm going to animate the offset from a -100. So let's just scrub to the timeline and find a sweet spot, maybe somewhere around here. I'm going to start the animation. So set it offset keyframe to a -100 and set a keyframe and move few frames. Maybe I'm going to do shift page down twice, maybe 3 times, and I'm going to set this back to 100 so it comes back in the position. So if I play it back now, okay, that's looking great. I'm going to set the ease low to 100 so that we have a very smooth slide in like that. Let's just go and collapse all these things, and let's select the text and go to animate, and I'm going to add another position. So this is the animator 1, this is the animator 2. So this is the second animator that we have just add, and in order to have some bounce animation, the text has to go up and it has to pass this line and comes back down and pass this line, right? So let's scrub to the timeline and let's just set this playhead just after the second keyframe, and I'm going to set the position, scale the position, increase the position to maybe right about here, halfway, and I'm going inside the range selector and advance. I'm going to set this to ramp up again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select I'm going to start the animation right at this second keyframe, and I'm going to set this to a -100, set a keyframe, and shift page down 1, 2, 3. So I did 3 page down, and I'm also going to add 3 page down here. So if you are consistent, it will look good. So keep the keyframe spacing consistent in order to have a very smooth animation. Okay, that's a little tip that I want to give here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here, ease high, I'm going to set this to 50 and ease low to a 50 as well. So if I scrub to the timeline, it's not looking exactly what we want. I'm going to select these 2 keyframes and I'm going to bring it closer so that we have a very smooth animation. So you can see that, and I want to add another text animator to bring this text down past this ruler. So I'm just going to be lazy here and duplicate this. Control D to duplicate for the animator 3, and let's just go and move this right after this keyframe so that you can see what's going on there. And I'm going to move it down, maybe somewhere around here. Okay, it's coming down. All right, so the same for this. I'm going to select these keyframes and I'm push it towards inside, so that you have a very smooth animation. Okay, so if I play back now, maybe I can just play with this distance. Okay, that looks really nice. And what I also did was I'm going to go inside animator 1 and go to range selector, and I'm going to change this based on words. So I will just start with words, you can see that, and the second animator will be influenced by the letters. So that looks really nice to me. Alright, so we have a very good looking animation now. Once I have this text animation set, you can just select all these three keyframes, and I can just go to animation, save animation presets, and you can save this. So let's just save bounce. Okay, save it, and if you want to use that, you can reuse it. Okay, so let's just create another text. So let's just center it here, and change the color to white, and maybe I'm gonna use this text animation here, and I can just go to animation, apply animation presets, and this is the bounce. Open. It will start the animation at the timestamp where you place your time indicator. Okay, so for me it starts from here, and bam, it's really nice. Okay, so I will just trim it here. Hold down Alt and the left side and the left square bracket, that will trim it. So we still have a problem. We still have this text here. By the way, if you're just starting out with After Effects and you're having difficulty following my tutorials, I also have a course which is on my website. It's Beyond Premiere, Beginner's Guide to After Effects, and you can use this coupon code to avail 50% discount. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out from the link below. All right, so let's just go and mask this text. Okay, so the easiest way to mask this text out is just go to the track matte options. You don't find this track matte here, so let's just click on this toggle switch and you'll find this track matte, and select the text you want to mask, which is this, and I'm gonna pick whip and point it to the shape. So once you point that, the shape will be turned off. You can just turn it back on, and you can see that the text will be masked inside. You can see here it is. And one final tip that I want to give is I can just turn on the motion blur for the layers, for the composition. That will make it really look nice. You can see that it's really looking nice now. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this tutorial. This is Motion Designer, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.